Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Look what I found here. I found a Sega Genesis of all things when I was digging around last night trying to get my kennel out for my dog because she's been a little bit sick recently, but she seems to be okay. But that's not the focus here. The main point is that we found a Model 2 Genesis with Lion King in it, apparently. But I'll talk about that in a minute. So, a little bit of backstory here. This Genesis apparently used to belong to one of my older sisters when they were a kid. I don't know how it got in this house though, because she never lived here. When I was growing up, she must have been in. Well, I mean, I don't think she even lived here. I don't know how this got here, but the point is that I only heard about this stuff from her when I was asking a couple years ago, and she talked all about the thing, how she liked it and all. Apparently, she had other games for it, though. She apparently had, she had Lion King, she had Monopoly, and I think she had Golf, but get this, no Sonic 2. I know, right? But anyway. So this is the most common model of Genesis you're going to get, really, you're going to really see. It's a Model 2, one of the most, I argue, one of the more mass-produced models. It's got your standard two-player in the front. It's got your standard power button here, and your standard reset button here. Dust cover seems to be in good shape. The back here's got the AV out and the power right there, power supply, which I don't have on screen, but I do have the original AV out right here, which is an absolute hell because you see this thing here? Yeah, it's nostalgic for some of you. Now the other half of you are going, what the hell is this? Well, what this is that it's supposed to go to the back of your old TV, like an old CRT. Sorry, I'm using my phone to record, so it's a bit of a configured mess. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. So here is the standard 3-button Genesis controller. She didn't have the 6-button one. The buttons feel alright. The start button feels good. The D-pad does not feel so good. But that's because a lot of these Genesis controllers didn't exactly have the best D-pad. Now, it's not awful, it's just, it's okay, I suppose. Anyway, though. So, yeah, this seems to work fine. I haven't plugged it in yet because I have no idea if it works or not, but I want to get some audio-video cables you can get online for the Genesis, and it'll hopefully help. But, ladies and gentlemen, before we talk about anything else, listen to this noise. Oh, that noise with a cartridge going in is, like, just a thrill for a gamer like me, because I didn't grow up with this thing. I grew up with a GameCube. So that was a different experience. To hear this thing pull out? Oh, man. Anyway, though, this game, The Lion King, came bundled with the system. Now, I don't have the case for it either. But the fact is that I found this thing in the Genesis when I originally found it last night. Which I thought was amazing, because considering the fact that it was totally covered in dust, head to toe. Now, head to toe, up and down. But what blew my mind, though, was that knowing that this game was in here probably helped the dust cover, and I'm going to explain why. Because the fit of the game itself, the cartridge in the console, might have actually helped this thing keep the dust out, actually, believe it or not. So I'm really excited. So I gave it a bit of a clean down, with the paper towel, nothing fantastic. Also, you can see the port here for the Sega CD, if you got that add-on, though I did not because I can't afford that, and that's just crazy how much those prices cost. Anyway, I'll make this little side project of mine, though, definitely, because I told her about it, and she was like, oh, you found it? I'm like, yeah. So, I'm gonna keep you all on tab with this thing, and up to date with this thing, and we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, I'll get this thing running. Now, am I gonna record with this thing? Probably not for a while, because first off, I need to get the right recording software, and I need to be sure this Genesis actually runs properly. Because sitting around in the broom closet for about, a solid 20 years, I'd argue, is probably not the best thing for this console. But, again, you never know, right? It could work, could not work, maybe. So, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I will keep you up to date on this still, and thanks for listening for a little bit of, exciting news, really. Yeah. Oh, and I'll talk about the power supply later, by the way, when we get to the video, when I get the audio-video cables eventually. Anyway, though, thanks, ladies and gentlemen, and have yourself a good day or good night.